Imagine 9 experienced hikers in the Ural Mountains. February 1959. They set up camp, but something unimaginable happened that night. Weeks later, rescuers found their tent ripped open from the inside. Their belongings scattered. The hikers' bodies were found kilometers away. Some dressed only in underwear. Others with bizarre, horrific injuries. Fractured skulls, crushed ribs, and one woman missing her tongue and eyes. This wasn't an animal attack. No signs of struggle, yet immense trauma. The official Soviet explanation? Compelling natural force. But what force could inflict such terror and leave so many unanswered questions? This unsolved mystery has haunted generations. A chilling testament to an unknown horror that truly happened. What forced them to cut their way out of their tent in sub-zero temperatures, without proper clothing? The official explanation barely scratches the surface of the terror they faced. Imagine waking up to an unimaginable threat, so terrifying that fleeing into a blizzard, barefoot, felt like the only option. Their tent, found ripped from the inside, suggested an urgent, desperate escape, not an orderly departure. Why would experienced hikers abandon their shelter in such extreme conditions? Facing certain hypothermia? This detail alone unravels any simple explanation, leaving a chilling void of understanding. The very act of cutting their way out hints at an immediate, life-threatening danger. Something that couldn't wait for the zipper. The first bodies found were 2 men, near a campfire, barefoot and in their underwear. Their hands were scraped, suggesting a desperate scramble. Subsequent bodies showed even more disturbing signs. Fractured skulls, crushed ribs, and one woman gruesomely missing her tongue and eyes. These weren't animal attacks. The trauma was internal, as if from an immense impact, yet with no external wounds. Forensic analysis struggled to reconcile the brutal internal damage with the absence of visible struggle marks, almost as if an unseen, powerful force had crushed them. This level of unexplained violence chills you to the bone, hinting at something far beyond human comprehension or known natural phenomena. A true horror story written in flesh. Even stranger, some of their clothing contained high levels of radiation, up to 900 times the normal background levels. This detail, initially dismissed, adds another layer of unsettling mystery to the Dyatlov Pass incident. Was it from a secret military test gone wrong? Or something far more sinister and unknown? The Soviet government's quick closure of the investigation, citing an ambiguous, compelling natural force, only fueled suspicion and theories of a cover-up. The undeniable presence of radiation on their garments, decades before widespread nuclear incidents were public knowledge, immediately raises red flags, suggesting an external, possibly man-made, element that was deliberately suppressed from public knowledge. Adding to the bizarre nature of the Dyatlov Pass incident, another group of hikers, located miles away, reported seeing strange orange spheres of light in the sky on the very night of the incident. Were these unrelated celestial phenomena, or a direct clue to the terrifying, compelling natural force the Soviets vaguely mentioned? This eyewitness account, corroborated by multiple sources, adds an unsettling extraterrestrial or unknown atmospheric phenomenon to an already inexplicable tragedy. The sheer improbability of such lights appearing simultaneously with the hiker's demise suggests a direct connection, yet offers no clear answers, painting a picture of a landscape where the natural order itself seemed to twist into something horrifying and inexplicable that night. Now, let's shift to another chilling, real ** government secret that operated for decades. Project MK-Ultra. From the 1950s to the 1970s, the CIA conducted illegal human experiments on unsuspecting citizens, desperately seeking mind control techniques. They used extreme methods, including administering powerful psychoactive drugs like LSD, employing hypnosis, and even subjecting individuals to various forms of torture. Imagine your own government secretly experimenting on you, without consent, trying to manipulate your thoughts and actions, breaking your will. This wasn't fiction. It was a decades-long covert program, approved at the highest levels, involving hundreds of clandestine operations. The sheer audacity and ethical void of these experiments are truly terrifying, revealing the dark underbelly of Cold War paranoia and desperation. Thousands were unknowingly subjected to these abhorrent MK-Ultra experiments, often targeting vulnerable individuals such as drug addicts, prisoners, psychiatric patients, and even ordinary citizens. Many suffered permanent psychological damage, their lives irrevocably shattered by the trauma and confusion inflicted upon them. The CIA even operated secret brothels in safe houses, dosing unsuspecting patrons with LSD and observing their reactions, treating human beings as mere test subjects. The shocking lack of accountability for these actions, combined with the sheer scale of the deception, is a horrifying testament to the lengths governments will go in the name of perceived national security. Imagine waking up years later, realizing your nightmares were real, the result of a secret government program. When the truth about Project MK-Ultra slowly began to surface in the 1970s, CIA Director Richard Helms ordered the immediate destruction of most MK-Ultra records. Why such a desperate act? To hide the full extent of their atrocities, the identities of victims, and the true depravity of their methods. This act of deliberate concealment means the complete truth, the precise number of individuals harmed, and the true horrors inflicted, may never be fully known to the public. What were they so desperate to hide that they risked destroying vital historical documents and evidence? This deliberate erasure of evidence points to a level of calculated malevolence that even public disclosure would struggle to fully comprehend, leaving a chilling void where accountability should have been. Fast forward to the 14th century. The Black Death. This wasn't just a localized disease. It was a global catastrophe that wiped out an estimated 75 to 200 million people, nearly half of Europe's entire population. Imagine the unimaginable terror of a plague that spread so rapidly, killing within days, with no known cure or scientific understanding. Villages were entirely depopulated. Cities became death traps, and the very fabric of medieval society collapsed under the weight of endless corpses. The sheer scale of death, the piles of unburied bodies, the constant, pervasive fear of infection, created a living nightmare that lasted for years. It was a time when death was everywhere, inescapable, and utterly terrifying. A true biblical scale horror. For centuries, the true origin and transmission of the Black Death remained a terrifying mystery to those living through it. People believed it was divine punishment for their sins, a result of bad air or miasma, or even the work of witchcraft and demonic forces. The profound lack of scientific understanding made the fear even more pervasive and led to desperate, often violent, reactions, including the horrific persecution of minority groups across Europe. The inability to comprehend or control the rapid, merciless spread of the disease created a pervasive, soul-crushing sense of helplessness. Imagine facing an invisible enemy that could strike anyone, anywhere, with no explanation or defense. turning neighbors against each other in a desperate, futile search for blame and a cure. Now, to ancient Rome. 79 AD. Mount Vesuvius erupts. But the horror wasn't just the initial explosion that buried Pompeii and Herculaneum in ash and pumice. It was the terrifying speed and intensity of the subsequent pyroclastic flows, superheated gas, and volcanic rock that moved at hundreds of miles per hour, reaching temperatures of 500 degrees Celsius, instantly vaporizing flesh. The haunting plaster casts of victims show their final, agonizing moments, curled in fetal positions, hands covering their faces, frozen in sheer terror. It was an instant, inescapable death, a terrifying snapshot of nature's raw, destructive power, capturing human agony for millennia. The air itself became a weapon, cooking them alive. What makes Pompeii truly terrifying is how perfectly preserved the horror is, offering an unparalleled glimpse into ancient suffering. The fine volcanic ash created perfect molds of bodies, meticulously preserving their exact expressions of agony and fear. Their final, desperate poses. You can literally see their last moments, frozen in time for nearly 2,000 years. A macabre art gallery of human despair. It's a direct, visceral window into unimaginable suffering. A stark, chilling reminder of how quickly life can be extinguished by forces beyond our control, leaving behind only these silent, screaming echoes. The detail of their final poses, the look of utter despair, is a haunting testament to the sudden, overwhelming terror they experienced. From the inexplicable, terrifying deaths in Dyatlov Pass, shrouded in Cold War secrecy and potential radiation, to the hidden horrors of Project MK-Ultra, where governments turned against their own citizens. The devastating sweep of the Black Death wiping out half a continent, and the instantaneous agony of Pompeii. These aren't just historical events. They are chilling reminders of the unseen, uncontrollable, or deliberately hidden forces that have shaped human history, leaving millions in their wake. They reveal our profound vulnerability to nature's unpredictable wrath, to the silent, invisible march of disease, and most terrifyingly, to the darker intentions and desperate measures of our own kind. The echoes of these real-life horrors resonate, reminding us that the most terrifying stories are often the ones that truly happened. And here's the mind-blowing twist that truly chills you. While these specific historical events are in the past, the mechanisms of fear and horror they represent are not. The human capacity for cruelty and control, as seen in MK-Ultra. The potential for global pandemics like the Black Death, and the unpredictable, overwhelming wrath of nature like Vesuvius, are all still very real, present threats today. What if the compelling natural force at Dyatlov Pass was something we still don't understand? Something lurking, waiting, in the wild or even in space. The truly terrifying part isn't just what happened, but what could happen again? Or what profound, unsettling secrets are still being kept from us right now, in plain sight, shaping our reality in ways we can't imagine.